Hi everyone, Coach Dani here. I am officially back from Vancouver, where I had probably one of the most amazing weekends of my life. I went there for the Seawees Half Marathon, and it's sort of one of those things that I never thought I would ever be able to do. I am not an endurance athlete, and that is no secret to my friends. But every year I try to make it a point to do two things that are like pretty far out of my comfort zone. Last summer I did I believe it was a 60-mile bike ride that I actually didn't make it through. I think I made it to about, I want to say like 56 miles, and I bonked out, which means I was not fueled properly for that race, and that's something that I'm actually going to be talking about today. And last summer I also started competing in triathlons, really for fun. I'm not like super competitive about it, but yeah, it was a couple new things that I'd never done before that I just decided to throw myself into. So yeah, I'm not really sure what other half marathons are like, but the energy and the excitement of this weekend was just unbelievable, totally unreal. All along the course, there were these really awesome cheer stations. Like first we went over a bridge, and there was a whole cycling studio had set up their bikes all along the bridge, and the music was loud, and everybody was pumping on the bikes, and it just like kind of gets you really fired up. There were like people dressed up as mermaids. There was like a hippie station. There was supposed to be a puppy petting station, and I didn't see that. So if you guys know me, you know that sort of disappointed me a little. But no, it was really just incredible. All the energy out there really just gets your adrenaline going, and you don't really think about the fact that you're running. But so like I said, last summer I bonked out in a ride, and it was a casual ride, but I was pushing the pace kind of hard, bike ride that is. And towards the end, my muscles in my legs started cramping up so badly that I literally couldn't move my body. And I really attribute that to not being prepared in terms of nutrition. So my energy stores just went way down. My body couldn't really take any more, and also probably to the fact that I wasn't trained for that kind of a ride. So let's talk about endurance exercise. If you're going to be doing any kind of exercise for 90 minutes or more, you should treat it as an endurance exercise. So I'd like to compare your body to a car that has two different gas tanks. And we never want to let the low fuel light come on for our gas tanks, right? If the low fuel light comes on in your car, you know you need to fill up with gas. So we're going to treat our body as if it's that car, and we're going to understand that we need to refill that gas tank. So the duration of the activity and the activity that you're actually doing are going to determine which gas tank you're using. Tank A is going to be your body's fat stores, and tank B is going to be your body's carbohydrate stores. So this is what we call glycogen. So as the intensity of your activity increases, the ability to use that A tank, that fat storage, is going to decrease, and you're going to switch on over to tank B, which is glycogen that you get from carbohydrates. So if you're going to be exercising for less than 90 minutes, tank B is going to be full enough from your normal everyday eating, if that makes sense. But you need to have a nutritional plan to get you through more than 90 minutes and keep that gas tank far away from the low fuel light. So let's talk about fueling before exercise. So I'd say ideally like 3 to 4 hours before a long endurance exercise, you're going to want to change the tires and fill up that gas tank in your car, right? Just like a race car driver would. So this means that eating a healthy meal before your activity, whether or not you feel hungry, is going to be absolutely essential. So you're going to want something that's full of carbohydrates, has a normal serving of protein in it, and has just a little bit of fat, not too much fats, otherwise it's going to kind of sit in your stomach for a little bit longer. So things like oatmeal with milk and fruit, you can try cottage cheese and crackers and fruit, or toast and peanut butter. Things like that are going to be really good options for before you exercise, okay? So moving on to fueling during your exercise, this is actually really important. People think that they can just go out and run for a couple hours or, but that's not smart. It's not the smartest thing to do if you have no anything with you, like little gels or things packed with your body. So think of this as your pit stop during your car race, okay? Your car's gonna need a tune-up every 45 to 60 minutes, I would say, and that's going to be in the form of carbohydrates. So anywhere from 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates, 45 minutes to an hour in, and then every 45 minutes to an hour thereafter. So things like energy gels, I use the little goo packs. Bananas are great, which is why they have them usually at stops during like marathons and things, or longer workouts. Energy drinks are also good. Because staying hydrated with fluids and the electrolytes is going to be really important. So water with Noon tablets or Gatorade each hour is also going to be great. But what I do is I get those, do I have any here? No. I get those little goo gel packets, and those have carbohydrates in them. And then you just pull the top off. You eat the gel. I usually try and wash it down with some water, and then you just keep going. It's quick, it's easy, and you can hide them like anywhere. Usually shorts will have little pockets, running shorts. Stick them in your sports bra, you know, wherever you can put them, but they're small enough to carry them with you, and they're not a burden. I do recommend trying different brands too when you're out on your practice runs or rides, whatever it be, because sometimes some might sit better with your stomach, and you might want to try them out. Okay. But yeah, every 45 to 60 minutes, have 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates, and be sure to be hydrated throughout the race or the run or ride, so that you're constantly replenishing the fluids that you're losing. Okay. And then after exercise, carbs and protein are going to be really essential so that you're recovering properly. And within 30 minutes of your exercise, you should be having that meal. Okay. So we need to fill back up that tank of glycogen that we already used. And this is going to ensure that the muscles that we were kind of putting little tears in, we want to repair those, and we want to regrow them, right, and grow them bigger, and also get back the fluids that we had lost while we were exercising. So have some chocolate milk, one of those protein bars, a fruit and yogurt smoothie. Get something into your system, okay? In terms of fluids, the rule for how much fluids you should consume after like a long exercise like that is 2 cups of water or fluid, Gatorade, Noon water, for every 1 pound of body weight that you have lost. So say you go for a 2-hour run, you come back and you find that you've lost 3 pounds of body weight, that's in fluids. So you're going to want to drink 6 cups of fluids to replenish that back and make sure that your body's nice and healthy. Okay, so this is actually what I used this weekend. This is the nutrition plan that I went into the weekend with before the half marathon, and I finished. I did not walk, well, barely. I had a little cramping in my quad, so I kind of rubbed it out, and then I got back to it, but I never felt like I needed to walk. My plan going in was if I needed to run 2 miles, walk half a mile, I would do that. But really, once I got out there, it was like, oh, the scenery was so beautiful. I had my friend Catherine with me, and she's a rock star. She probably held back a little bit to make sure that I would make it, but it was just so much fun. I really, really urge you guys, do something out of your comfort zone. Test yourself, because you can do more than you think you're capable of. But that's sort of my nutrition talk for endurance exercises. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below and share if you think that this would be great for your friends as well. Thanks, guys.